Hello everybody, welcome back to another speed build. This is the third time I filmed this because fourth time I filmed because the three times I filmed it my mic was not connected, so that was a lot of fun. So I mean, at least the good things that I kind of basically know what I'm going to say. So this is 17 Culpepper House. It's an apartment that came with City Living and it starts off with a 1 bedroom 1 bath, but I end up turning it into a family home that ends up having 3 bedrooms, one being a nursery, one being a child's room, and then another being the parents' room. This layout wasn't hard to do, but it was hard to figure out because of the window placement, and I didn't want to change the windows. My plan for this was to keep City Living and to make it base game. The good thing about City Living though is that the counters that came with it made it look a little bit more, I don't want to say dingy, but used, because that's literally the title of the counters. But yeah, it made it look more used and I liked those counters. But one thing I don't like about them is the fact that the counters, the ones that came with City Living, they don't have the new swatches. Do you remember when they did a base game update and they updated the base game counters, but they didn't update the City Living ones? I don't know what's going on with the Sims team, but their ability to make people pay for packs and stuff, I mean, maybe it's part of their contracts or something. It seems like it, that they're not able to go back to the packs that they did because they only update base game, and they either come out with new packs or they update the base game. It seems like that. Or I mean, I remember was it Island Living? Like a thing happened where people complaining about Island Living not coming with counters, but they added counters. So I don't understand how they can't go back and fix other packs. It's very, I mean, if they're not able to, then that's fine. Obviously, they can't do much, but I'm talking more about EA, not the people who work in the Sims team, because people who work at the Sims team, EA is their boss. So, I imagine, I'm guessing their boss is EA. But yeah, as I said, my aim was to keep this a City Living and base game. My internet is a bit better. I can feel it in the air. My internet's getting a little bit better. My gallery actually loads this time, but still I'm unable to put my builds in the gallery. I don't understand why. It just takes a very long time and it's kind of annoying. So maybe after this, when this is uploaded, I will try again, but just be mindful that this stuff will not be up when this this renovation, the last renovation won't be up, so just keep that in mind. But as you see, I don't normally use orange or warm toned wooden floors, but because I was sticking to base game and City Living, I had no choice. I don't like this floor. I don't. Maybe it's because I'm not used to using like orange toned floors, wooden floors, but I don't like orange toned floors. If you watch my renovations, you would know that I tend to stick to like a dark wood or a really light one. That's kind of my thing. I imagine for this apartment, as you see I'm using these ones, I imagine for this apartment, I was at first I was going for a couple with an infant and a child, a girl. But obviously when you get this from the gallery, it has to be a room. I didn't realize that everything has to be a room. I'm not sure how that works. It has to just be one room, I guess. Yeah, then you plop it down. So I'm gonna have to get rid of the walls if I want to do that. I always wondered why you can't put apartments in The Sims, but it's because you can't exactly put the apartments, but you can put them as rooms. I didn't know that. Like, I literally didn't know that until a few minutes ago, like 20 minutes ago. So that's fun. But yeah, I imagined at first it was a couple with an infant and then with a a girl child or a teen child. Depends on what you want. But if you don't want that, then obviously you can probably turn the infant's room into an office or the child's room into an office, or maybe you can swap the child's room with the parents' room. Who knows? It's up to you. If I'm actually able to put it on the gallery. But I really I think when I make like, I guess, cheaper houses, as you see on the top, it's currently 6,000. I didn't want it to be too expensive. One thing about City Living is that a lot of the stuff is pretty cheap. Like the chairs, like those like foldy chairs, and the counters. I think the counters are actually cheaper than the basic ones, which is really nice. So that is really nice. But I was going to also say that when I make cheaper houses, I really like to add colour to the appliances, like the fridge and the stove. The reason why I did that is because I remember when I was playing Sims 2, and when you move into a house unfurnished, they keep the appliances. I was like, whoa, this is so cool, because in the Sims 4 and Sims 3, if you pick unfurnished, you're most likely gonna have to get your counters yourself. I believe, I think it's the sink that you have to buy on your own. It's one of these appliances that you have to buy on your own, in the Sims 2. But honestly, it's not that bad considering, because it's realistic. I mean, I'm not sure in real life if you'd have to buy your own sink, but it's something, right? A little bit more detail. But yeah, like I said, I don't like how the Sims team do that. It's kind of annoying because I really wanted to use a darker. God, that's so annoying that people rev their engine. I know they can't kind of control it, but oh God. Oh, and also, I've actually changed it to a single parent. Like I said before, it's supposed to be a couple, but I've changed it into a single parent because they've only got one bathroom, and then that means they haven't got much space. I imagine the infant doesn't really need to take a shower. They only need a bath every now and then when they stink. The child and the mum, they need to shower. Like I said, it doesn't have to be this type of family dynamic if you are playing in this game, in this apartment. It is 17 Culpepper, as you see on the top left. You don't have to do it. You don't have to if you don't want to. But in my game, there most likely be a single parent. It takes much. Imagine two parents who work at the same time. You even have to get ready in the morning, and a child. Imagine, all of them have to get ready in the morning, and they've only got one bathroom. It's kind of a mess. So I kept it at that. Also, I did want to keep it. I think I already said this, but I do want to keep it pretty cheap, pretty affordable. No matter what age the child, like let's say it's two parents and two children, it doesn't really matter the age. If you've got 4 Sims, you'll most likely be able to afford this. So, and also to make it into a challenge for me, what I did, you won't see the Sims, but what I did, I put their money to I think it was 700 simoleons. They're really struggling. And then the dad is a handy guy who only works Saturdays and Sundays, which is a lot of fun. But also with bathrooms, when they've got kids, I really like to make it kid friendly. I really like to make it fun despite it only having one child. I like to make it a little bit more colourful. I think that's fun. With the parents' room, as you see, well, not just the parents' rooms, but in the bedrooms, you see that the carpet's a little bit dirty. The reason why I did this is because, one, it's part of state living. I thought it'd be nice to use a different carpet, but I don't really use this one a lot. I imagine that part of the deal in getting this house is that you probably, what is the benefit of this house? Rent is probably cheap, I imagine, because you have 3 bedrooms and 1 bathroom, which isn't good, and you also have a shower, which is probably a little better in terms of I don't know, but I'm trying to think of what is beneficial in this house that makes people actually want to live in here. But I really love this nursery. I've been really loving making rooms for infants. I didn't do it last time, I don't think, because I just kept the amount of Sims that I had in the house. But this time around, because I get to have a little bit more leeway in who I want to put in here, I really enjoyed making this colour scheme. I don't really tend to use base game stuff, but I really liked how the wallpaper fit into the infant's room. Like I said, I did in mind what I said in mind. In what? I wanted it to be a couple. As you see, it's kind of scooched up to the side. I didn't put it in the screenshot for the thumbnail, but I did end up putting the bed in the middle, just in case. It can still be a couple if you wanted to, if you want to make it really challenging. But maybe they date and they have people over. Who knows? I think that would be really fun. So that's why I scooched it in the middle. The bedrooms are very simple. I imagine she's the type of parent who probably splurges on their kids because she doesn't have a lot of money, and she wants to make them, I guess that she doesn't want them to realise that she hasn't got enough money to kind of pay bills. Maybe she misses bills. That'll be fun. What if I purposely make her break the day that she has to pay bills, and she isn't able to pay bills, and then the lights go out? It's interesting how in game, remember, if you watch my Sims 3 Generations series, you would know that my sim in the early episodes, I'm only on episode 19, but my sim and the Reaper Man paid my sim a visit because they forgot to pay their bills. And it's really hard to figure out. Maybe I'm slow, but I really struggle to find where you pay your bills in The Sims 3 and Sims 4 as well. You can lose the papers in The Sims 2, which is a lot of fun. and the Reaper Man came. But I don't think that anything like that happens in The Sims 4, if I'm not mistaken. I've never experienced that, so I'm not 100% sure. So if that's happened to you, has the Reaper Man come to your house? Let me know. At this point, as you saw, I was trying to decorate the child's room. Then I realised, wait, I haven't got a living room. So I went in to add the little furniture in the living room. I imagine with the mum stuff, her bed and her dresser and things like that are from probably like the marketplace in City Living. I'm not exactly sure where that is. I should probably explore the world more. I did pay for the pack, so I should probably do that more. But she probably got her stuff from the marketplace, and the children's stuff. Besides maybe a few things, a lot of the time they get new stuff. They get new stuff. I really love this coffee table. It's really fun. It's very funky. And a lot of City Living stuff is quite nice. Like when I restrict myself to just City Living. Also, I mean, I didn't just restrict myself to that because I've got a tiny living TV. But when I restrict myself to just packs, I think it's fun to see like what the pack actually comes with. You're not just thinking, oh, I don't want to. You don't want to always use the same stuff. So that was really nice. Here I was trying to add more skill building items, so I added a random chess table. I imagine that's from is it the flea market? I won't say. When I say marketplace, am I talking about Facebook? Maybe. Oh, fun fact actually. Last time I used Facebook Marketplace, I almost got scammed, which was a lot of fun. It was very stressful. It was like happened like at the end of this year. It'll be 3 years ago. That's crazy. 3 years ago when I almost got scammed on Facebook Marketplace. And it's interesting because I almost got scammed as a seller. I wasn't buying anything. I was selling something and I almost got scammed, which wasn't a lot of fun. Now we're back onto the child's room because I wanted to keep the living room plain, and also I still want your sim to have enough money left over. I imagine it's still enough. I'm not 100% sure how much money your sim gets, if it's the mum and 2 children, 3 sims. But even if it's not enough, I like the storyline, so you can just put free real estate and it would work. There's nothing wrong with cheating in The Sims. I cheat in The Sims all the time. Not all the time, but sometimes when it's needed. As you can tell, her room is very dull, lack of decoration, but her son's room and her daughter's room is very, very decorative. I just added a few smaller bits. I'm not sure if I keep this mirror because it's kind of in the way. I wish, like, how you can do it in The Sims. I think you can do it in The Sims 4 as well if you just hold Alt and you've got move objects on, but I think you can move the mirrors down. Oh no, it's Control 9. Yeah, Control 9 is how you move the stuff up and down. And I couldn't really do it, so I do keep the mirror then. I thought I didn't. And last but not least, I want to add another skill building item, and one I haven't used before that came with City Living is at first I thought of a violin, but that got a bit boring. But I do add a keyboard. The mum can also add it as well. I just add a few pieces in the front to make it look a little bit colourful, but I do give the daughter a keyboard so she can play and kind of. Is it the music skill? Oh no, it's a piano skill. I think music might be. Is it a separate skill? I think so. Yeah. I don't know what I'm thinking. I just add like a few more pieces, decorative pieces, which is really nice. I imagine even if it's not a lot, they don't have a lot of money, Mum tries her hardest to make it homely. And also I've started to add more thermostats in my houses because I realised I've got seasons and my Sims burn alive, or either they almost die of the cold. So add more thermostats, and as you see in just a second, I did want to add an easel, but I thought that'd be really weird to add in an apartment. So I give the daughter a keyboard. And also it ends up being around 18,000, which is pretty good. I think it's like at least 24,000, which is really nice. But I hope you guys enjoy the video. That is it. And yeah, if you guys have got any more video suggestions, then please let me know. And also I wanted to ask quickly, do you guys prefer if I do speed builds or if I do it in real time? I have done it in real time before. I think the last apartment I did, it was in real time. So please let me know which one you prefer. Or maybe I can just alternate. We'll see. But I hope you guys enjoy the video. And I'll see you guys next time for more Sims or other content for me. Goodbye.